Hey y'all, I'm Lachlan, and for today's video, I am doing my very first Animal Crossing build. So I decided to ease myself into doing my very first build by doing my entrance. And my idea for this is to make it fall / Halloween / spooky vibes type of entrance build. So I am excited to get into it, so let's just jump right in. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of space here. It took me a little bit of time, actually a lot of bit of time, to clear all this out, but I also did a lot of pre-planning ahead and decided on the custom codes that I want to use. I haven't found all 100 custom codes I'm going to use on this island quite yet, but I did find a big chunk of the ones that I am going to utilize throughout the island. But first things first, I'm going to lay down some custom pathing and plan out this little circular area, or I guess large circular area. So here is that little area. It is complete. Let's add some trees to this. There we go. And then here in the center, my idea was to basically create a farm. In case you're curious, the codes that I am using, I do not have in my card just yet, but they should be available in the very near future. So here's the spot where I realized that I messed up just a little bit in regards to spacing, so I'm correcting that real fast. And then I'm gonna finish off this little pumpkin patch by adding some pumpkins here. Now, one thing I knew I wanted to do throughout this garden was to have fencing all the way around it, and I really like this tall fencing, so it was a must that I needed to use it. Obviously, you think of spooky / garden vibes, so there are a lot of pumpkins, a lot of fall items, and then this little custom path with the leaves I really enjoyed. And goes very well against the orange tones of fall. Now here is the little garden area complete. So the interior area is complete now, so I can now focus on the exterior parts. I will say, as I was planning this out, I couldn't just go full force into this build without actually having a plan ahead of time. I knew I wanted a farm in the middle and a deck that went all the way around it, but that's pretty much as far as I knew what I was doing. So a lot that you see here is trial and error. I know there's a lot of cuts and you probably won't see a lot of that trial and error, but when it comes to designing for me, I really just kind of play with things. I move things around quite a bit, and I do change up the custom codes on the ground quite a bit as well. Okay, so that looks good so far, but there's still quite a bit to do, so let's continue. Obviously, Dina was in my way. Dina, I don't have time. We have a build to do. Finish putting down all the custom codes that I believe should be done. Gonna add a little bit more fencing, kind of to block off some areas. I only wanted a certain amount of ways to get in and out of this deck area. Now, I do want to give a little shout out to my friend Piper, who helped me acquire a lot of these fall related items. I always can count on her when I am needing something in the last minute, because she always seems to have stuff on hand whenever I need it. So thank you, Piper. Now, like I said, I planned out the deck, but there was a pieces to it that I added in later. So here are those little planks that kind of create a little bit of texture to the build. Now, I knew I wanted some seating, so that was an obvious must that had to have. And then more plants, of course. We can't not have too many plants and too many, you know, water areas, I guess I should say. And I will say these bicycles are just so cute. And then you cannot have a spooky build without a lot of items that provide light. So that is another thing that I do like to utilize, whether I show my space in the daytime or at night. I do like to use a lot of items that give you that illuminating feature. Like I said before, a lot of this is trial and error. It might look like I know what I'm doing, but honestly, there was a lot of me throwing something down, not liking it, changing it up, and trying something else. So even if it looks like I know what I'm doing, trust me, I really don't. It does take some practice to kind of get the hang of things, but for me, honestly, a lot of the times I just kind of have a vague idea what I'm gonna do, and then I kind of just run with it from there. Gotta keep adding more pumpkins, of course. And I just love these new Halloween items that we have. Let me know what your favorite item out of the new Halloween items are. I really like these trick lamps quite a bit, but I think my favorite item are probably the spooky trees with the jack-o'-lanterns hanging from them. Obviously, I cannot have a build outside without some mushrooms, and they also fit the autumn theme. And I was really happy that I was able to utilize this giant spooky table as well, because I don't think I've ever used that table before, and it's been in Animal Crossing since last year. You can't do an entrance without the spooky carriage, of course, and it fits in super well. Here's me changing up, like I said, changing up some of the things I decided on. And this custom design code right here is super realistic in my opinion, and probably one of the only realistic custom design codes I got. More mushrooms, more bicycles, and of course leaves everywhere. And then finishing it off with some flowers and some weeds. So I did the work and I plucked all the weeds off the island so that the ones that I plant here will grow. So here is the final looks of my entrance build at night, obviously. So I hope you enjoy these final shots. So I'm going to jump in really quickly here at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to doing more builds like these in the future. So hit the like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more content like this.